Holy fuck! Did Craig leave already?
No, he's still here.
Okay. No, he just got blanked out there. I was like, what the fuck? He's already gone. So yeah,
he's getting ready to leave for fucking Germany here real soon.
Yeah, right away. So Justin was just like, I was like, what? Like you don't like girls? You don't want to get pussy? Like he gets on one episode of the podcast as a guest, and then all of a sudden, he's like, oh shit, man! Like you're getting a lot of girls from this. Like, can I be a regular? I'm like, yeah, sure, man, sure, why not? And then he gets what, another episode in, and all of a sudden he's like, I can't show up. It's like, oh, I gotta go to my grandpa's funeral. Like, fuck off, dude. Jesus, you're out of the podcast. Welcome, everybody, back to Not Rich, Just Bored, episode 4. As you heard from the intro, Justin will not be joining us. And no, he's not at a funeral. I'm pretty sure he's just lazy and he didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Probably needs to get his arm tickled or something.
Yeah.
That's just a regular thing with him.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell you a story.
Okay.
Because it's fucking hilarious. It wasn't hilarious at the time, but it was pretty funny. And if you notice my audio is different, it's because I'm not at my regular setup. I am down in Lethbridge doing work, but the show must go on. Mm-hmm. So I'm recording from my work laptop. And anyways, so I'm down here in Lethbridge doing some work. And I'm doing work at I'm at a customer site. And I deliver their copier, whatever. And then their photocopier, right? And I go around and tell the person, the lady that let me in, that like, yeah, it's here, it's all good. I'm just heading out, and I go around the corner, like just before I get to her office, and I can't make this shit up. My belt breaks. My fucking belt that holds up it breaks, and so I come to her office and I'm telling her that I'm leaving, and I'm like, why do my pants feel like my pants feel like they're falling down? And like I look down, and my fucking belt it broke.
Oh,
So she probably thought I was the biggest pervert in the world. just walking into her room with my fucking belt off, like, hello, lady. I'm here to fix the photocopy.
Holy fuck!
Holy fuck! Like I knew that belt was I knew it was getting frayed, but I didn't think it was that bad. And my fat old belly just broke.
I was gonna say, my clothes kind of feel frayed too when I start getting fat, but
Apparently, I needed to go back to the second hole, not the third hole in that belt, because she was ready to break there.
Pushing dreams to limits.
Yeah, I'd like to just say it was my big old cock, but it's a little bit higher than that.
It's a big old gut.
You got that right. But I just like, it's just so funny because she like comes around, she's like, oh, that's good. And I'm like awkwardly, if I didn't touch my belt, she probably wouldn't even notice. But like,
oh my God.
Like, I'm being awkward. I'm like trying to hold the belt together. It reminds me of it actually reminds me of another fat story that I have, which I have to tell on here because everybody loves it. When I was in grade, it would have been grade 8.
Yeah.
It was the year just before I moved, and I was just sitting in the middle of class, and it was quiet. You could hear a fucking mouse running across anywhere. Like you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet. And I know you've heard this. I know you've heard this story, but I'm like just sitting there. We're all taking a test, and I'm just sitting there, head down on my paper, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all yours. Holy fuck! Everybody's like, "What the fuck?" We just hear some sound of metal clanging off the desk. And everywhere, and I'm not even joking. It was my fucking button from my jeans. the button from my jeans. My jeans were like so tight; they must have been on their last legs. So my fucking my belt, or sorry, not my belt, my you know, the little thing that clasps your jeans together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing blew off, hit the bottom of my desk, hit the ground, hit the chalkboard, and everybody's like, "What was that?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that was." Meanwhile,
Oh.
after class, I like find it. I'm like, well, that's probably the fattest thing I've ever done in my life. And then we fast forward to like 50, whatever, 50, 20 years later, whatever it's been, and same shit's happening to me.
Oh fuck.
Only it's just my belt. Holy fuck, though. That was that was a classic story, though. I love that one.
Fuck. That's
Um,
great.
yeah, I really enjoyed that. So this is going to be a movie and TV show heavy episode.
Mhm.
So if you don't like that, get the fuck out of here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
In spite of everything we've done for you, eventually you will never watch us again. But before we get into our movie stuff, I had another quick little story here.
Yep.
This is just gonna be me. You're just here to observe. I'm just gonna talk about
That's fair. That's fair.
everything. No. So, anyways, yeah, this is just a little cute story that I wanted to make a little note of because I thought it was cool. There's a scientist. What the hell is this guy from? I don't know. His name is Victor Toth. I'm guessing he's German
Okay.
because he's from Feinstein Institutes. He was a neuro engineer. Anyways, his rise to fame recently was he taught or is teaching 3 rats, or are they mice? They're rats, I think. Yeah, rats. He's teaching 3 rats to play Doom 2,
Yeah, the old PC Doom 2, right?
yes, yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. And as far as I can ascertain, um, from the article and stuff, is they haven't completed a level yet, I guess.
Okay.
But ironically, the rat that's doing the best though,
Yep.
because there's 3 rats. The one that's doing the best, his name's Romero, which is hilarious because we all know that John Romero's,
The creator, yeah.
he was the lead designer on,
Yeah.
you know, he was the designer and John Carmack was kind of the brains, and he made
Mhm.
John Carmack made like the engine.
Yeah.
And I think he's just doing Oculus these days.
I think so, yeah. He's very big into VR.
Which
Like I
makes
think
sense.
what was his last Doom project would have been Doom 3.
Yeah, I think so. Because none of the original id guys had anything to do with Doom 4.
The new
26,
Dooms.
2016 and Eternal.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of sad in a way, but
Yeah, it is.
at least the games were good.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
For some reason I thought Dustin Hollenshed, he was one of the designers. I thought he worked on it for some reason, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, he was one of the main guys on there too. But yeah, basically this guy, he had these tubes, and basically when the rat would move on this little, I'm guessing it's like a treadmill or something, it would correspond to controls in the game, and then he had kind of a thing that he could press to shoot, and then through the tubes he would shoot sugar water to use as like a positive reinforcement when they were doing good. So, and I guess he's gonna. There's talk anyway about making a Twitch channel.
Yeah, yeah.
They may have already made a Twitch channel, which I think would fucking be sweet. But
That'd be wild.
yeah, it was pretty cool. It's funny because he said, yeah, whenever they encountered an imp, the Romero, the rat, would just be like, "What the hell's this? I don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of this. I want to see a fucking rat do a speedrun world record on Doom 2 on Ultra Nightmare. No death
Yeah,
run.
that's wild to think, eh?
Mm.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah. Fucking, they're smart little animals, I guess.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
shit! If they can progress through Doom.
yeah, but can they be Dark Souls?
Yeah, no kidding. Eh?
That's gonna be the real. That's gonna be the real test.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you want to say your little thing first?
Yeah, it's real quick. So what, first few episodes we kind of make these gay jokes, and
Yeah.
some people are actually taking it serious. I guess there are people out there that are not really don't maybe know us too well. They're not
Yeah.
acquainted with us, and they're just jokes. That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. No, like there's no issue with people being gay or anything, but we're not gay. We're straight. But
Speak
we
for
make we
yourself.
yeah, take that self. But no, the yeah, it's jokes, people. We have, I guess, when I don't know. I wouldn't say it a private way, but like I guess not in public too much do we do, make humorous, I don't know, jokes, I guess, like that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we do.
well, th-
It's just kind of like it's always we always kind of make jokes like that, and yeah,
that's the thing. Everybody makes jokes, right? But it's like sometimes if you don't know people personally, you don't understand they're joking. Which
yeah.
I don't personally understand how people didn't know I was. Same with Justin. Justin didn't understand. He's like, how do people think you're
Uh,
not
I,
joking?
I know, and I guess that's the same for me. But again, we all know each other. We're not really we're not acquaintances. Acquaintances. Wow, I cannot pronounce that at all. We're really good best friends. So we know each other. We know how we think. We know our jokes and stuff like that. But I know that there's some people again that I guess if they don't know us too well, then I guess I don't know. It's weird
Yeah.
because I don't know. It seems pretty, you know. I- Again,
Yes.
maybe it's just that. Maybe it's that fact again. It's that we know each other, and people. There's some people that are more acquaintance to us, so they
Yeah.
don't really know our sense of humor or when we're making jokes. But yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because there's. I've got messages and people asking, and then I'm like, no,
Yes.
it's a joke. It's a
Y-
joke. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of the end of that. But my last little thing I kind of want to, I guess, on that real quick, and it's actually a little topic that me and Cody talk about is uh, um, what humor, slapstick humor.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost getting into that little sense of things where how people don't seem to like slapstick humor anymore, or they just don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Totally.
kind of almost like slightly. There's a part of me that like it kind of feels like it falls into that where it's just like the humor that we do. Maybe some people just don't understand it or get it, but
Maybe.
it's,
I think I think most people that have groups of friends these days, like from our generation, like born in probably I'd say 1980 and above,
mhm.
for sure, they all have like their group of friends that like every group of friends, like the joke is always like roasting each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's the biggest thing is when you're good enough friends, it gets to a point where like you can go and roast your friends, and it's pretty, like especially between a person. You know what I mean? Like and that goes, yeah, like you said, like all groups of friends have their own kind of sense, and they can make a joke, and the next person will get that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so that was about it.
Yeah, it really is a shame that on the other point, it's a shame that slapstick humor is kind of being lost
Yeah.
because I actually really enjoy it, and
Mhm.
I think things like that, like physical comedy, is just I think it's really funny. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like Three Stooges and like
MacGruber.
yeah, MacGruber
And
exactly.
I was kind of curious. I've been reading stuff up, and I guess, like I'm happy, but at the same time too, it's also kind of frustrating because it's like, when you see like a potential of something, you're like, I really enjoyed that, but the whole world is against it, sort of thing. but
Yeah.
then it takes like a few years, and then people start opening up and understanding, or actually start getting a sense of humor. Like supposedly I hear MacGruber, that's like one of our all-time and funny fucking like
Ooh.
Will Forte is a fucking comic genius. I wish he got even more
Yeah.
fucking praise. That guy, he is so fucking funny, especially to our group. He's like, oh, he's like a
Yeah.
god, pretty much. But anyways, when that movie came out, I think it just barely passed their budget, I think, or just before their budget, and it wasn't
Yeah.
praised all too well. But again, for us, that was like that was comedy gold for us. But now I'm hearing people are opening up to that movie, and it's starting to get this cult following.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
It always kind of was a cult classic in a way.
Mhm.
Like I said, most people in casual conversation don't really know what it is,
Yeah.
but the people who do know what it is love it. And it's,
Yeah.
but like I
Well,
said,
it's funny. Oh, sorry.
well, I was just gonna
See.
say, I don't remember if I said it on the podcast, but I looked up the rating for MacGruber on like IMDb, and it was like, and I think Metacritic or whatever the hell it was, Rotten Tomatoes, it was like 33%, like
Yeah.
3 out of 10. And it's like, holy shit!
Yeah. Right. But then,
But
like, I'm seeing like articles where people are like, "Oh, I remember when I saw MacGruber the first time, and I did not care for it, and I recently saw it again, and I actually I kind of enjoyed it. Actually, it was actually a pretty good movie." And it's like, fuck, why can't you be like more open minded to that? Like,
yeah,
it was a great movie, and it's just like, and like Forte talks about how like it was a bummer, like it kind of hurt on how it didn't do well in the box office, but they're still happy with the movie that they made because that was the movie they wanted to make.
yeah, they weren't held down by some studio saying you got to
Yeah,
do this, you got to do that.
yeah,
Whereas like that's why unfortunately I'm pretty sure that's why the new one is on Peacock, and I'm pretty sure that's because like no other network would probably take it, or
yeah,
like
yeah,
um like Netflix or something. They're probably too woke at this
yeah,
point to accept something like MacGruber because it's just too offensive.
yeah, probably.
And eventually the shit's gonna crash down, and we're gonna have a rebound. I hope to hell anyway. But that's
Yeah,
usually how this goes. People go woke, 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 and then it rebounds, and people are chill again, and
yeah.
everything's okay. But yeah, that's the problem. It's just like people need to just shut the fuck up and enjoy movies and just turn your brain off and watch it.
That's how I am, man. That's the whole point of movies for me is just to again like there's just so much shit happening around us, when it comes
Yeah,
to
let me.
pandemics and stuff like that. And it's just like, why can't you just I feel bad for the people that can't seem to shut off their brain and just like enjoy something kind of humorous. Like there's people that are like, oh, it has to make sense. The story has to have this, and it can't have plot holes. It's like, man, movies can never be that perfect, or else it's gonna be a 5-hour movie.
Well, it's
Like,
going to be boring.
yeah, but
Even
like, and I think too, the other thing is, I think hype has to do with certain things too, because it, like, I loved the new Spider-Man movie.
yes,
Figured
and
I'd
we're
kind of
going to
mention
talk
this
about that.
and talk about that. But you can't tell me that movie was perfect. But again, and so some people are so hyped about something that they'll they'll suppress the negative stuff,
Yeah,
um, to
yeah,
a point. But which is whatever. That's fine too. That's really good. That's kind of the same thing, and maybe for us, but it's just that idea, like, they shut off their mind for that movie. They enjoyed the Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? I'm just using
exactly.
that as an example, I guess, more or less, because it's the most recent thing. But
Yeah, but it's like it's just the ability to you're there to be entertained. Were you
mhm,
entertained? Good.
yeah,
And I understand like people loving a brand or something like that. Like I said, like with Spider-Man, it's like, they want the tropes there, they want to be nerdy Peter Parker and blah blah blah, all this.
Yeah.
And I understand being faithful to the source material because I'm a big stickler for that. And when we get into The Witcher season 2, I'll be talking a little bit about that.
Yeah.
But even though I still enjoyed that, there's some problems that I had just because. But it's so ironic because I I'm one of those guys that is like with Resident Evil when we talked about that. You
Yeah.
know, I was okay with Leon and shit, even though he didn't look like Leon from the game,
Yeah.
100%. I was okay with him. But then
Mhm.
today in this podcast, I'm going to be a hypocrite and I'm going to talk about fucking The Witcher
Yeah.
later and how like some of the casting I just like I couldn't fucking stand. But
Yeah.
also but also talk about the good things. But like I think but I think it's not so much being a hypocrite. I think it's just there's layers. Like I said, the Leon guy, at least he was kind of sold on that character, and it was kind of close, you know,
Yeah.
close-ish,
Yeah.
close looking anyway, you know.
I- It's interesting. Actually, funny thing with bringing up Resident Evil real quick too is that
The official
apparently,
Resident Evil podcast.
yeah. The apparently some of the elements for the Leon in the movie actually there's some elements taken from the I forget the author, but there's Resident Evil books.
Richard Knack. Just kidding.
But yeah, the
He
let's
did
see
all the
here.
Warcraft. He did all the Warcraft books. So I think I think he did some Halo ones too.
Uh,
I can't remember.
just taking a
I'm gonna
look to
look it
see if
up
I
here.
can quickly race and
Yeah,
find the SD Perry. That's it. SD Perry.
right,
Yeah. So they actually, because like there's a part in that movie where like Leon's kind of a this drunk, right? And I guess his girlfriend broke up with him and stuff like that.
right.
And that was in the books apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, and then so it's funny when people are like, all like, this isn't Leon. Well, shit, they took some elements from the books.
Yeah.
So, like, and these hardcore Resident Evil fans say this, but I guess they didn't really read the books.
It. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I just looked it up. That remember how I said Richard Knack, like Richard A. Knack.
Yeah.
It's because I knew him from the Warcraft. He did a lot of Warcraft books, but I forgot he did this other. He did the Diablo book too. Because I actually own this book. I read it as I was probably like 12 when I read it. Diablo Legacy of Blood. 2001 that bitch was released. But that would have been around the time that D2 was coming out, so
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, yeah, I guess he didn't do a lot of video game ones. He just did the Blizzard books. He did Warcraft and Diablo. And then
Okay.
and it looks like he did his own Dragon series. Anyways, we're getting off topic there.
Yeah, we're getting
But
books.
yeah. But
So,
but yeah, so we were gonna yeah, there's a few movies we're gonna talk about. There's Ghostbusters,
yeah.
which we saw like 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we are gonna talk about it last week, I think, but we fucking again we go off at tangents and then we're like, shit, we're out of time. That's all for
Yeah.
this episode. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so we'll do Ghostbusters first, because yeah, that was a couple weeks ago we watched that. And what did you think about it?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was it was fucking good.
Now were you a fan of the original two?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like did you watch them a lot as a kid?
I didn't really watch much as a kid, honestly. I watched them like maybe I seen like I think I've seen both of them when I was a kid, but I more watched them in my teens, and then especially when we started hanging out.
Yeah.
I think that was when I really got more into it because you guys were you and your brother were huge fans of it. So, and then like sitting down and actually watching it more, I appreciated more. And a funny thing with that is, I wanted to mention is with that growing up, it's kind of funny how you watch a movie when you're a kid, and then you watch it when you're an adult, and the amount of stuff that you miss out or
Yeah,
didn't understand as a kid. Like
yeah.
GoldenEye. GoldenEye was a good example. I loved that movie when I was a kid, but I love it even more as an adult because I understand it more.
You're like, oh, that guy was trying to have sex with Zanya,
Yeah.
and then he got broken.
He got broken. Yeah.
My question about Goldeneye is, how the fuck did that motherfucker put him in the closet? You tell me Zanya just fucking killed the fuck of that guy and then just like manhandled his probably 300-pound body into a closet?
Gave him a nice smile.
That's such a classic party when he falls out. He falls out. Pierce Brosnan opens up the closet.
That part reminds me kind of like Mr. Deeds when he opens the coffin and then the guy fucking rigor mortis kicks in and
Yeah.
he's smiling. Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
he's still pretty frozen.
Yeah.
Take her easy, pal. Thanks for the apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for the apartment, buddy. Yeah, that was hilarious. But
Uh,
but as far as Ghostbusters, I we watched it so much as a kid because my dad had Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on VHS.
yeah.
So we got so into that and we loved it as a kid. Admittingly, when I was a small child, like under 10 years old,
Mhm.
anytime those fucking dogs came out of the stone, I was out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had literally as soon as I was like that scary music, like the
Yeah.
and then like those fucking dogs were coming out of stone, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And then I remember I'd like hide behind the TV, and then I'd be like, Mom, tell me when we're back to Slimer and the fun stuff. I don't like these dogs. Then as an adult, the dogs are my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're very cool movie monsters.
Yeah.
But
So,
that's
what did you think of the new movie?
yeah, yeah. I thought it was really incredible. Like I didn't feel like um I didn't feel like anything was forced. You know,
Yeah.
the main protagonist is this little. I, is she autistic? I think she's autistic or something, but she's like super smart
Yeah. Super
and
smart.
but I think she's supposed to be like on the spectrum, right? Like that's her character. She's like got very like she's very organized, like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. That's basically what she's like.
Yeah.
Which Sheldon, I think most people would say, he's like got that certain form of autism where he's socially awkward, but he's incredibly smart. So, and that's what the main character was. And she was female, and she was enjoyable. It just shows you that a Ghostbusters can have a female lead and a kid at that, and not be boring.
Mhm.
I enjoyed her character a lot. I really did. And
Yeah.
I saw her as like a young Spangler, like Egon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, of course, as you learn, spoiler alert from anybody, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this one for Ghostbusters, Spiderman, and Witcher season 2. So just so you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyway, so yeah, yeah, she's Egon's what, granddaughter, right? Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yes.
sorry, I gotta take some water here. Coughing up pizza, but yeah. So she's Egon's granddaughter, and you can tell she's a lot like him, but she was great. And then Finn Wolfhard plays her brother, and
Okay.
that's the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really good in his character. In the first act, like the kind of the first quarter of the movie, he wasn't really a big part of it. It was
No.
more just her chilling, and then I thought her relationship with that it was the little Asian kid, right?
Oh. Who is it?
Yeah, I can't remember his
I'm
name.
trying to look at the cast, but for some reason I do not.
He was he was
Skittles. Is that it?
uh
Show.
yeah, no, he had a name like that. It was like
Hmm.
yeah, McKenna Grace played Phoebe, which is the main lady, main little
That might
girl.
not be it.
I yeah, I ca
Yeah. Try to.
yeah, yeah, I normally have my web browser open, but this piece
Oh, I got it.
okay.
No, no, no.
Logan Kim.
Sorry. Thank
Logan
you.
Kim.
Thank you.
That's yeah, podcast. That was that's ironic that we're looking for his name. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. The ghost. Yeah. Paranormal Activity fucking podcast host kid.
yes.
Yeah.
And anybody who's watched it knows that there's that really funny line at the end where well, there's a line in the middle of the movie where that kid's like, "Yeah, my podcast really found its feet after episode 64." And then near the end, spoiler alert again. Big spoiler alert. When the real Ghostbusters are there, like the old
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
that's what Dan Aykroyd says to him. Uh, he's like, he's like, "You're the host." I found it. He's like, "It really found its footing after episode 64." And then the kid's like, "You're my one subscriber." I really want Dan Aykroyd to just turn around though and go, "Also, I want you to have some triple Herkimer Diamond filtered Crystal Skull vodka."
I was waiting. I was really waiting for a fucking uh a fucking skull to be somewhere in the shot with him.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
vodka. Fuck.
yeah. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping he'd make some reference to it,
Did
but
not too
yeah,
bad in the box office.
what did it do?
166 mil, and I think
Okay,
the budget was 77.
77 mil. Oh fuck, it's crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also fucking Paul. So we'll get to that Ghostbusters thing uh in a bit here, but so yeah, and there's also a teacher character, which is
Mhm.
Paul Rudd, right?
Yeah.
I think he's trained as a seismologist or whatever. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he studies the earthquakes and ground disturbances and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then he kind of gives the whole plot point of the ley lines, kind of like they
Mhm.
did in the Ghostbusters 2016 reboot, where they were talking about ley lines and shit like that. But yeah, it ended up being this whole kind of conspiracy of why are there earthquakes here.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it turns out it was, the coming of Gozer. So
Yeah.
but the main thing I want to talk about, because I don't want to, I want people to watch it. I don't want to, go into the whole plot the whole way. But
Yeah.
I just want the one thing I really want to talk about, because it was just so fucking perfect to me, was the way this movie ended.
Yeah.
Like the way this movie ended, again, fourth time, spoiler alert. Skip ahead, please, if you don't want this. Anyway, anyways, no, the ending was fucking perfect, and I cried. I
Yeah.
literally cried because at the end they have to fight. They have to fight Gozer because she's back.
Yeah.
Well, it's back.
It's back. Yeah.
It's whatever it wants to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's back, and they have to fight him, and then, of course, as everybody expected, the old Ghostbusters show up. So you got Bill Murray there, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, but of course Harold Ramis passed away. But throughout
Yep.
the whole movie, Harold Ramis's ghost
Yep.
has been kind of helping Phoebe, giving her hints, showing her how to fix the proton pack, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's kind of and he was at the beginning of the movie briefly, but you don't see him, right? He kind of has
Yeah. They kind of do. They do those angles so you don't get to see his face, sort of thing.
yeah, it's kind of hidden in shadow all the time, or it's just not in frame. But
Yeah.
then so the whole movie you're kind of wondering, are I mean, I know he's dead, right? But are they going to be able to see? Are we ever going to see him? And I figured they'd do this, but they fucking did it, and they did it perfectly, because when they're all fighting Gozer at the end, Harold Ramis's ghost shows up, like Egon's ghost
Yeah.
shows up, and they did it like they did Peter Cushing in Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah. It was a
Yeah,
really good
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Because Peter Cushing, he's an old horror movie actor from the 50s. He
Yeah.
played in the original Star Wars. He played Governor Tarkin in
Yeah.
the first movie.
And he would
So
have been probably 80 there.
oh yeah, he was very old then. So
Yeah.
he passed away. But in Rogue One, they did that CGI of him, right? And
Yeah.
there was a lot of people that were like ethical this and ethical that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. It's a tribute. It's not like they're putting him in clown makeup and be like, "Oh, I'm Peter Cushing, fuck you."
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no,
Exactly. They're
no.
they're doing it respectfully.
They're doing it respectfully. They're using voice samples. Whatever. It was great. But anyway, so they did that in this movie with Harold Ramis as Egon, as the ghost. There's no speech though. He does not
No.
talk. He never talks, which is fine. It kind of makes it more emotional in a way, actually. But like, just seeing like all four of the Ghostbusters together, and then like, oh, literally, like anybody who's a fan of that series, if you don't cry at that part, you fail.
Yeah.
I saw you tearing up. I looked down a couple seats from you. You were sitting there like, you were like the guy from Mars Attacks that released the dove. You're like, they came in peace. But yeah,
Apparently, okay. I'm just looking. I've been looking up some Ghostbusters stuff. Since we're on that topic, they're
yeah,
talking about a TV show.
like a new one.
Ghostbusters. Eco Force. Eco.
Eco,
Eto. I don't know. ECTO Force.
like
Ec-
a
Ecto.
new one. Like it's gonna be
I
new though.
I I guess it
Oh,
said friggin' it's weird because it looks like it's like um character 2018 but it's just announced.
oh, weird. It might have
And
been something that was starting before COVID, and then kind of got funding cut or something.
yeah,
Because I know there was the real Ghostbusters back in the '90s, which was the animated series, which was that was pretty fun series. It wasn't the same voice actors, but they were good voice actors in their own right. But
friggin' I guess Paul Feig, I think his name is the guy who made the female Ghostbusters.
yeah,
He wants to make a sequel still.
fuck him. Just kidding. I you know what? When it comes to that Ghostbusters, the only like the biggest problem I had with that one was they they weren't capturing ghosts. There was nothing to do with capturing ghosts or anything like that. Like by the end, they're literally doing John Wick style scenes where they're like just literally like zapping ghosts with these little ghost pistols and then killing them
I know,
again.
yeah.
And
Again, I was gonna say I haven't seen that movie, but I never had interest on seeing it.
it's like,
And it's the other thing too. I guess and again, that was just from me seeing it. What bugs me is again, some people I guess want to give certain movies a try and a chance and stuff. But if you're one of those people that are like fucking, I don't know how to put this. It's just like I had no interest in seeing that Ghostbusters, and I have no interest to watch it. So why would I go? Like, you know how some people bash the shit out of something, Resident Evil, for example,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then fucking still go to the movies with that negative mindset. It's like if you know that you're convinced that you don't like the movie even before you've seen it, and you're already convincing yourself you're gonna hate this movie going to watch it, then why are you going and spending the fucking money to go watch it?
yeah. It really does make sense. I saw a couple guys in that Resident Evil Facebook group that were posting their reviews, and
dude, it blows my mind. It honestly blows my mind.
yeah, well, me too. But like with and you know, we've talked before about, you know, shutting off your brain and just enjoying a movie, but
Hmm.
with the Ghostbusters 2016, it's one of those things that the the source material
Yeah.
is so precious and so loved that if you're gonna do a sequel and if you're gonna make it this weird woke girl power movie with like nothing to do with the source material, like literally like nothing except for, you know, there's a little, you know, the equipment and all that, which is cool, but by the end of the movie, they're just saying fuck it. Fuck
Yeah.
the traps. Fuck trapping ghosts. We're just gonna be pistol whipping these motherfuckers. Fucking Joe Pesci and Casino style. Just you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I encourage anybody who hasn't watched that movie to just Google the final scene where they're in the street. They're in the streets of New York and they're just literally it's a free for all. They basically said fuck capturing those. We're just gonna kill them and just pistol whip them everywhere.
Yeah.
But no, uh but that's not even my biggest point about that movie. My biggest point about that movie is that uh it tried to be too woke. It just they they tried to be too woke and they tried to push the girl power thing just a little bit too much.
Hmm.
And the comedy for me just wasn't there. There was one part that I thought was genuinely funny, and that was Leslie Mann, or sorry, not Leslie Mann. What the fuck's her name? Who's the black lady in that movie? Leslie Jones.
Um.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
That's her name. Leslie Mann's fucking from Knocked Up and shit like that. George's Jungle. No, Leslie Jones. Yeah, she had one line when there was the one ghost in the subway, and it gets trapped on the subway, and it goes down the subway tunnel on the train car with people, and then
Mhm.
she has this off, she has this random line all of a sudden that says he's going to be the third scariest thing on that train. And that was like that actually made me laugh. Like that gave me actually a pretty good laugh because
Yeah.
that's actually good timing. That's good. That's a good joke because
Yeah.
yeah, so anybody who's ever taken the subway knows they're fucking disgusting, and there's some creepy fucking people on there.
Yeah.
Really creepy. Oh my god, I've never taken a subway, but I've taken the fucking train in like Calgary and stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, never seen so many drug addicts in my life.
Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was the fifth scariest thing, and there was only six people in our car. But yeah, and then the other thing was the visual effects. The visual effects in the 2016 one were just they were just awful. They were too
Yeah.
blue. The ghosts were too blue,
They're
which
like, well, like the first two Ghostbusters, and I would even say this new one, Afterlife or whatever. They, it wasn't from what I gathered from the female version, they were really pushing for kids, were they not? Like
I
it was more like like the first two, they were like the ghosts in there were, other than Slimer,
so
was
so
pretty. They were pretty creepy.
so Ghostbusters 1 was like almost yeah, meant to be a horror movie, but it was
Yeah.
also a comedy.
Yeah.
The original script was a horror movie, like kind of deal where they actually wanted to travel through space and time to fight ghosts.
Yeah.
It was a really weird script that they had written. But yeah, it was more of a horror movie and a comedy. And then
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2 actually played to the more there were some, you know, scarier than modern shit,
Yeah.
but like it was more tongue in cheek and more comedy, more kind of goofy because
Yeah.
actually Ghostbusters 2 was it was released after the success of the animated series. So they're actually, I don't know if you knew this, but they're actually trying to go for more of the animated series audience. So they're
Okay.
with that's why a lot of people didn't like number 2 nearly as much because of some of that kid type stuff, but
Okay.
I would argue it's still a great movie, and there's still a lot of pretty good horror aspects, like creepy shit.
Mhm.
The all female one, 2016, was pretty much, it was all, very goofy monster. Like I said, all the ghosts look. The CGI was gross. Like, I hated it. I thought the CGI was fucking ugly, and
Yeah.
like I said, and you'll only understand this if you've watched it. But the ghosts looked like, a lot of the ghosts looked too blue. They
Mhm.
used way too many shades of blue, except for the big weird flying demon thing. I think it was purple and green. I can't remember, but yeah, I did not like the CGI. However, in this new one though, the effects were awesome.
Yeah.
And as anybody know who's watched the trailer or anything, the dogs are back from Ghostbusters 1. And anybody who was a fan of Ghostbusters 1, they know that the dogs were practical effects,
Yep.
but it was only from their torso up. There actually was no legs on those animatronics. It was only their torso up. That's how they shot it, and that's how they framed it. So it's kind of like this puppet that, from the midsection up for the most part, and then when the dog's moving, it's analog effects,
Mhm.
which was really good for the time. Now it looks a little cheesy when they're in motion if you watch the old ones on Blu-ray, but again, it still holds up. But the practical effects are really good. Now in this new one with the dogs, obviously when they're moving and shit, they're CGI,
Yeah.
but it looks good. The thing that me and Dallin were trying to figure out when we watched it was, um, when he's in the hardware store, Walmart, was it Walmart? Yeah. When Paul Rudd's in Walmart and he first comes across the dog, it's just sitting there, I think in camping supplies or some shit like that. But we were trying to figure out if that was a CGI or if that was practical. Because
Yeah.
I haven't done research on it. I haven't looked it up. I probably should, but I'll look into it later. Of course, when it comes out, because that's usually how you figure these things out. You watch the extras and stuff like that. But I don't know. It looked like it was a practical effect. If it was CGI, it was really good. It was really fucking good CGI because I could not really tell the difference at the time. So I really enjoyed the effects in that movie. I thought it was fucking sweet.
Yeah. The I was kind of looking up like some of the ghosts and stuff like that. Um, I'm going blank on its name, but you remember that there's that one blue ghost?
Yeah, kind of like the new
He's
Slimer.
yeah. That was played. The heck. It was played by where's his name? Where's his name?
Tom DeLuise.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it
Got kicked.
wasn't.
No, here, hold up.
I was gonna say Dom DeLuise died.
This I literally just saw it. Uh, just looking
Oh,
up IMDb.
Greg Turkington.
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad.
Yeah,
He played who?
he played Muncher.
Oh, on IMDb where I am, it says Greg Turkington played him. But
What? Oh,
maybe he was the visual actor, and then Josh Gad was the voice actor.
I think Josh Gad was the voice actor. Yeah, as
That
the voice.
Oh yeah, and I actually forgot this. Because Ivo Shandor, we actually get to see him in this movie because he's the one that in the original Ghostbusters that made the building where Dana Barrett lived.
Yeah,
He was the architect, and
yeah.
he was the leader of the Gozer cult. And yeah, he was actually played by J.K. Simmons. Eh?
Yeah.
I
It took me
actually
a minute. It took me
I
a
actually
minute
forgot
until
about that.
Yeah, there's I never noticed it was him until there's one particular scene, like how they shot it, that I could actually see through the makeup and stuff. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that was
So,
hilarious.
yeah. Um
And
s-
but yeah, all in all, I thought it was really good. I definitely give it like a 9 out of 10.
yeah, same. I would say
I
so too.
yeah, again, the only problem I really had with it was they kind of had a, like every Ghostbusters does, they have the trope of when shit's hitting the fan. There's always a trope that there's a bunch of ghosts they show off that
Yeah.
are kind of because the ghosts are getting everywhere. And they did
Yeah.
that on number one, they did it on number two, and it was always a good part of the movie because it was cool to see the ghosts. In this one, it was kind of underwhelming, that scene, because I think there was there only one ghost they showed besides Muncher, of course, the new Slimer.
No, I think
Because
there was a few, but
like,
like the two that stuck out were Muncher, and then there was a scene at the diner where there's a guy
yeah,
sitting there.
yeah, the old miner, a miner that
Yeah.
the worked in Ivo Shandor's mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, that looked cool. That was a cool one, but I just felt like they didn't really have enough ghosts there.
Hmm.
So, but But yeah, like I said, I don't want to get into more of the story too much because I think everybody should watch it because
Yeah.
it's fucking cool and there's going to be some neat twists and turns
Yeah.
that I think people are really going to enjoy. I think it's definitely worth your time. I give it a 9 out of 10 for sure.
The I was gonna say for 2021, the last half of it, really, they Hollywood sure kicked out a few good movies.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh fuck yeah.
one movie I still want to see. I think it might be a little too late. I don't know. I'll see how tomorrow goes, but I really want to see the new Matrix movie.
Is it out now?
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out of town. I'm out of
Uh,
touch.
let's see here. Matrix. What do they call it?
Hey,
Matrix Resurrection. That's it.
yeah. Hey,
Um,
guess who's coming to Megfest this year?
who's that?
John St. John. I'm here to
Nice.
kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of Housters.
Yeah, I guess looking here on Matrix, looks like they have one at our theater at 9:40. I guess it's late now, so yeah, yeah, it's playing there. I wonder which cinema it is. I don't want
Well,
to go
better be
get in.
playing. There's no fucking other movies playing. Like,
Yeah, true.
I,
Um,
I was gonna say, other years, it's like we don't know if we're gonna get this movie because there's so many movies. 2021, it's like, oh, there's a movie every 6 months. So
yeah, yeah, no, and they're playing like especially our theater where we live or we're from. It's a smaller theater, but yeah, when things were really slow, they were playing like, what was it? It was like
so
they had like two old classic movies with the modern movies, but you could see them for a lot cheaper. I think a lot of theaters ended up doing
yeah.
that, but
Well, remember we went to the thing.
yeah, actually, I was just gonna mention that. Like,
Yeah.
because of that, though, we got the opportunity to watch a lot of these old movies in the cinema, and maybe to some people that's like, "What the hell?" But for me, the cinema,
Oh,
and I Cody agrees with this. I can vouch for this is the fact that cinemas he he just can't beat a cinema. Like there's some people that are like, "Oh, cinemas, you're gonna die, and it's gonna be the way of streaming at home." But no, a movie
oh,
at home does not give you the same experiences on the big screen and nice seating in a dark theater. Like I've watched John Carpenter's The Thing multiple times now, and that's coming from a guy who we know we talked about this last podcast. That I'm not good with horror movies. I do not like horror movies at all. But that movie now also John Carpenter's The Thing is considered like one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Um,
undoubtedly.
yeah, undoubtedly. And the fact that were able to actually go watch that in the cinema was awesome. Like I
Oh yeah.
love that. I love that.
I was so happy because that's obviously that came out before we were even born.
Mhm.
So I was very happy to be able to see that. And even Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, I would love to see that in theaters.
Same.
Like that'd be a sweet theater movie.
Yeah.
That's like
Oh man.
when episode 1, Star Wars episode 1 got released in theaters for 3D.
Yeah.
It got re-released. And I mean, I actually saw it in theaters in 2000 as a kid or
Yeah.
2001 whatever it came out. I saw it then, but it was still cool to watch it as an adult.
Yeah, man. And
That was a weird experience though, because I was there with my ex at the time, and there was literally, I think we were actually the only ones in there at the time. There was
our
nobody there.
our town is a very I don't know how to put it.
Cornbread and chicken, where I
Yeah,
come from.
yeah, yeah. There's like Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man, but like, yeah, there's a particular crowd around here,
Yeah,
anyways. I find it's not like the big cities.
no, 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 no.
So
If you go to a big city, everybody's gonna be there for everything.
yeah, the and that's that kind of comes down to Matrix for me, where I want to see this new one in theaters. I don't want to catch it when it's not in theaters anymore.
Yeah, I think the new Matrix will be. I think it's gonna be an experience in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah, same, man.
That's
Again,
like,
I'm excited. The one thing I was told or looking up, again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, and I've been doing pretty good at it. Um, the one thing that I've been hearing though, that made the first three movies, I guess, iconic is because at the end of the day, in Matrix, you're in this program, right? And
yeah,
if you actually paid attention to all three movies, especially when they're plugged into the matrix, they have this green filter
okay.
when you're like, yeah, when you watch specifically the first one. If you watch scenes from the first one, they put a green filter kind of over top of stuff.
Oh yeah. I know what you're
And
talking about.
yeah, so and apparently in this new one they got rid of it.
Oh really?
Yeah, which some people are kind of like, and I understand where they're coming from. Like, it's like, fuck, you've had it in your three movies, and it's the idea that when you're outside the matrix, the filter's gone because you're in the real world, and then when you get in the matrix, you're programmed back into the matrix. So you're in a computer generated thing. So the green text and the green filter, you know,
Yeah.
and
But the
yeah,
one
they
thing
don't.
we could say is the world of the supernatural is all around us at all times. What do these spirits want? Where do they come from? Where are they going? The only way you can figure it out is by buying Crystal Skull vodka.
Oh fuck, sakes. Dan's gonna phone you up and be like, "Hey, would you like to be a sponsor?"
He's like, well, I noticed you guys have a really big following. You got lots of girls following you. Girls like their vodka. And do you know what girls like more than vodka? Do you know, Mr. Howe?
What is it?
They like diamonds. And
Oh my god!
the interesting thing about our Crystal Skull vodka is there's no glycol, there's no additives. That's glycol. That's antifreeze. Most people they add it for the smoothness. That's not in our vodka. And our vodka is not double distilled, not triple distilled, quadruple distilled over Herkimer diamonds. Removes the impurities.
Yeah,
But seriously, go buy Crystal Skull vodka. Dan Dan hit up my DMs.
yeah. Want to be a sponsor?
That'd be sick, man. Our first sponsor ever is just Crystal Skull vodka. This kid, he was on Twitter and he wouldn't stop DMing me saying the world of the supernatural is all around us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Before our
Okay.
next podcast. God, this shit is. Are we online? Yeah, this stuff's great. I can really tell the difference in the filtering.
Ooh, ooh. I poured it over some quartz. It's really good. Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah.
So what's another movie we saw more recently?
Spiderman. I mean Spider-Man.
Can Spider-Man come out to
Come on,
play?
play.
There's somebody left in that burning building.
Yeah. That actually freaked me out, actually, when I
Yeah.
first saw that. Because it's just fucking the scream. The
Oh yeah. But he's like pretending to be the lady
old lady. Yeah,
trapped in the
yeah.
burning building. And he's like
I'm here to help you.
Sam Raimi's sitting there like got him.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Uncle
was pretty
Ben.
good though. And you could tell, like, it's funny how there was actually like Evil Dead references in that movie.
Yeah, there was. From like
More, I don't know about the second and third one, but definitely the first one. Like they had the eyes, the white eyes with William Dafoe's character at times, and it's just like,
yeah,
yeah, that's just that's just referencing
active formula.
Raft formula. Yeah.
Oh my god, Norman.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought the new movie was really good. I I think they did the best. I think they did the best thing they could have done with a multiverse movie.
Yeah.
Like like I think they set it up right, and then they introduced characters at a good enough pace.
Yeah.
And you know, because the problem that you have with a lot of these big villain movies where there's lots of villains, lots of moving parts, uh, y- people don't get their screen time. But the
Yeah.
way they worked this one was, I think they did a lot of group scenes,
Yeah.
and they also tried to fool you, like with the whole Norman Osborn thing, you know, because you know at the beginning, again, spoiler alert for anybody for Spider-Man, and sorry, that just reminded me of a joke. I was originally going to do an opening joke for this podcast, but I was going to be like, "Yeah, I'm not at home right now. You could say I'm far from home."
Okay, calm down.
Hopefully, if there's a snowstorm, there might be no way home.
Okay. You know what? I don't know where how it was where you're at, but it was pretty bad in town today.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's +4 down here.
No way.
Oh yeah, it's fucking t-shirt weather, man. Fucking beautiful down here.
Fuck me.
It's
That's
funny.
wild.
It's funny because I drove through a snowstorm yesterday, uh, or the day before by Red Deer. I drove by this through this fucking blizzard, just shit,
Yeah.
absolute shit roads, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you know I got through it after an hour. It wasn't too bad, but we were slowed down to like 90, 80, 90 kilometers, not
Yeah.
miles. You fucking Americans. I was only going 90 miles an hour. No, but yeah, 80, 90 kilometers. And yeah, I got through it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was terrible. I hope the rest of my drive is not shitty. Then, like, I get like closer to the last bridge. It's like +4. I'm like, holy shit.
Jesus.
Got my
Snow is
sunglasses out.
melted.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the lady at the hotel to make me a mimosa. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm checking in. And then she's like, hey, aren't you that guy with that big penis from that podcast? I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, that's
You
me.
could call me the belt breaker.
Oh my
Uh,
God. That's a good one. It's actually funny because I got gas at a at a at a gas station today, and you know how when you use a fleet card they ask you to sign the receipt, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm in there, and he's like, I was like, oh, do you need me to sign something? He's like, yeah, actually I do. I'm like, and I like turned to the lady behind me. I'm like these people always asking for my autograph, and I'm like, you must have been listening to the podcast. And the guy's like, what? I'm like, look up Not Rich Just Bored on Spotify. So if we have one extra view, which means we'll have 3 views, then we know that's him. Because we have 3 views. We have me testing if it's working. Dan
Me. Oh, you
Aykroyd,
did. I quit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
then
so
this
there'd be 4. There'd be 4 because it'd be
then
me.
yeah, you and then Justin maybe, and then this guy at the gas station,
Yeah,
and possibly the girl behind him.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that guy got my autograph.
Yeah. What can we say? We're fucking winners.
Yeah, it's between you and me and Gyark. Gyark and Craig.
Craig's just sitting in the fucking corner, not fucking saying anything in chat.
Yeah, he's just doing nothing. Those are
Garrick's picking up this whole fucking conversation right now.
he is for context for anybody who's not familiar. Um, the guy there's a bot that records these conversations so I can edit them, and his name's Craig, and then the backup bot is Gyark, which we always joke is German,
Yeah, yeah.
but we don't know.
We don't know. We're being yeah. Yeah, we're
He looks like the anti Craig. That's what he looks like.
yeah. He does.
I don't. He looks. It's like Meta Knight and Kirby. It's weird, but yeah. Anyways, so basically, what I'm saying is I'm still listening to podcasts to people. So
Nice.
and it's working because they're asking for my autograph. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's cool.
So you're always gonna get that autograph at the gas station, eh?
In spite of everything I've done for them, eventually they will hate me. One time I'm just gonna be like, I want my autograph. And the guy's just gonna cut me off and just be like, just sign the fucking receipt, you piece of shit. Go fill up your fucking $1.40 tank, bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the way I think the way they got around all the bullshit with like too many characters on screen was fuck, my phone's going off. Forgot to put it on silent. Amateur. But I think the way they got away with the too many villains thing is they had a lot of those group scenes, where kind of
Yeah.
everybody was together in a scene.
Yeah.
And then yeah, they pulled a wall over your eyes, hey. They kind of tried to make you think that Norman was gonna be a good guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is that the angle they're going for? He's gonna be like a good guy, and then the bad guys are kind of all working together with Spider-Man. I'm like, nah, there has to be conflict somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, he turns, to Goblin.
Yeah.
And he looked pretty good, like the way they did his costume in this one.
Dude.
He shows up like he looks like in the first movie with the glider and the mask and all that, and then later on he smashes the mask and
which I found funny.
Yeah, it looked like glass.
Yeah, what was he wearing? A glass mask this whole time? No wonder in the first movie they kicked him out of his own company. Yeah, I made a battle suit, but the fucking mask is made out of fucking glass. So as soon as an enemy hits me in the face, it's going to shatter and fuck up my face.
I was a little disappointed he didn't have the pumpkin bombs that turn people to skeletons, though. That might have been just a reference to the Evil Dead from the first one.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know. But it's just funny because they all he just like, out am I? And he throws the bomb at them. They all turn to skeletons. It's like, oh, okay. That's a weird bomb. But yeah, in this one, he looks more like, he almost looks like the goblin from the show, where it's an actual goblin, but it's just Willem Dafoe's facial acting. It's so good.
Yeah.
That he's obviously human, but he just looks so demonic with how he's able to contort his face. Willem Dafoe, if you've seen lots of his movies, he's a great visual actor.
Oh man.
His his voice, as far as it goes, that goblin voice is iconic.
Hmm. And
No way.
the thing too that makes it awesome with William Defoe is he's also again, like you said, like he's a visual actor, but at the same time too, he likes to do his own thing too, like physical stunts and stuff like that. And that was one of his big things I'm hearing in this movie is if he was going to be in it, he didn't want to be a face sort of thing or just standing. He wanted to do
Yeah,
his own fights.
yeah. He wanted to do all of his own stunts, which I commend him on. That's good because
Yeah.
he's 66, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like holy fuck, like that's commitment to the craft,
Yeah.
and like that's I don't know. I love Willem Dafoe, and I thought he did really well as the Goblin in this one.
Hmm.
And all the other bad guys were great, and
Yeah.
they corrected certain things, and they had their kind of fucking um what do you call it? Their shit. I'm trying to think about it. What is it called? Ryan, help me out.
The sorry, what like the
Uh,
what are you trying to
there,
explain? Sorry.
there's an actual a theater name for something where they changed something because of something else. What is it called?
I'm going honestly blank.
The fuck's it called? Oh my god, it's gonna drive me crazy. Fuck me. Oh my god. Would you just figure it out?
I don't know what. Oh my god.
Oh
Can
my
I
god.
just can I just say one? I want to say one thing about the movie. There's a
Yeah,
spoiler.
yeah, go ahead.
No,
Well,
I'll try to make this like a 30-second thing or less. But here it is. So the scene after they cure Sandman,
right.
and he's in the fucking little structure there, and then like Green Goblin comes in, throws a fucking grenade in there, like. The first thing I can think of is, well, Sandman's dead. But he's not. Like it's just like that. I'm pretty sure they showed a angle of that where it showed the whole fucking thing just like engulfed in fire, and then at the end he pokes his fucking head up. It's like, how the fuck are you not dead, buddy?
You're talking about when they're on the top of the statue?
Yeah, yeah. And he's
Yeah,
yeah, and he gets it's cured or whatever,
yeah.
or reverted back to himself, his human self, and he's like just there. And then literally the next scene after the just like that little montage of them like happy or whatever, a fucking goblin grenade goes through a fucking room, and like to me, I'm like, yeah, well, he's dead. He's fucking dead,
Yeah, yeah. Peace out, Salmon. Just got blown up. Yeah,
man.
and it was and I think I figured out what I was forgetting. It's called Ex Machina. That's what it's called.
Oh, jeez.
It's
Okay.
it's Latin for God. Deus Ex like ex mach Deus Ex Machina is Latin for God from the machine. And but like when it's used in movies, it's called an Ex Machina. It's basically something changes that it's like a person or thing is introduced or appears into a situation suddenly and unexpectedly. It provides an artificial solution to something that's like insolvable. So it's
Oh,
basically
okay.
like something that happens because of something unexplainable.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, the way I was going to use it though is for Jamie Foxx as Electro, right?
Yeah.
Everybody notoriously hated Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. They thought he looked like a fucking goof, which I'll admit too. I thought he looked like a goof too because he had the blue skin. But
Yeah.
then, but then they made this whole thing when he got pulled through the other dimension. He's different. He changed, right? He changed to like because in this one he's just Jamie Foxx. He's not blue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the movie he explains it, right? He's like I like this new me,
Yeah.
because it changed,
Yeah.
right? But it's like
Yeah.
it's an ex machina, right? Because they're like, yeah, that's why he's different now. That's why he looks normal,
Hmm.
you know. But yeah, it was great to see all those old villains come back, and like Dr. Connors came back as the
Yeah.
Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man's, Sandman from Spider-Man 3, and
Hmm.
of course, as we all know, the one character that didn't come back was Venom.
Yeah.
But if you remember, I sure as hell remember, there's actually an after the credits scene in
Yeah.
this movie where it shows Tom Hardy, like his Venom,
Yeah.
and he's sitting at a. It looks like he's in Mexico or something. He's like having drinks,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but then they're like we like it here,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he starts to glow because they sent everybody back to their own timeline,
Yeah.
like Doctor Strange did.
I'm
So
curious on how that's all gonna work out.
yeah, well, I think that was their way of solving the whole why did Venom come back from from Spider-Man 3, you know, like Topher Grace,
Hmm.
like his Spider-Man, like when all the other villains from those movies came back.
Yeah.
But that's how they're explaining it, is that the other Venom came over, but he just wasn't in New York.
The
He's in
thing that I'm
Mexico.
wondering about is um you got Tom Hardy sent back to his area, right? His universe, let's say.
Yeah,
But you go watch the new Morpheus trailer and he makes a reference to Venom. So what
right.
universe is Morpheus in? Because also Morpheus runs into you can see there's a spot in the Morpheus trailer where Michael Keaton, who plays his what's his name, Vulture?
Vulture, yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
he,
shit,
he
you're
runs
right. I
into
didn't even think about that.
so
Because does,
I don't
does he
I don't know.
reference Venom?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Really?
because at the very end of the trailer for the second Morpheus trailer, there's a guy they're like in a subway or whatever, and the guy's like, "I gonna stab him or something." I don't know exactly, but he grabs the guy's hand, and then the guy's like on his knees, and he leans up, and he's like, "I am Venom," and then he kind of does the vampire kind of face for a split second. He's like, "No, I'm just joking. My name is blah 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 Morpheus, blah blah blah, Doctor
Yeah.
something Morpheus,"
I think it's
and
Michael Morbius,
yeah,
is
Michael
it?
Morbius. Thank you. But yeah, you know what I mean though? Like it's like you went and made that reference. Now, Marvel's been Marvel Sony have been pretty good when it comes to like trying to not spoil their movies, like in the sense where there was scenes that we've watched, seen in the trailers, and then when we watched them in the movies, they altered the scene. Like they made scenes specifically um for the trailer.
Yeah,
And so what I'm
like editing out Andrew Garfield punching the lizard,
yeah.
but still
so
leaving the lizard getting punched in the trailer.
so what makes me wonder is that scene where he goes, "I am Venom." I wonder if that's just a scene that they just shot for the trailers, and he'll say something else instead.
Yeah, that could be too.
So
That totally could be it.
mhm,
But we won't know till it comes out.
true,
But I think it'd be cool if they tied it into all the universes
yeah.
somehow.
And somehow, from my understanding, from what I hear, is I think out of the Morbius movie, we're supposed to get a Blade movie out of it.
Oh, that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, because Blade is part of this new Blade, anyways. That they haven't made a movie just yet. He's part of the Marvel universe.
Isn't the new Blade Michael Jai White?
I'm not familiar with the actor himself, but that could be.
I didn't they announce it before?
Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, they announced the actor and stuff, but
New
I
Blade actor.
yeah, pretty much.
Hold on.
You'll be
I'm
able
looking.
to.
Actor Mahershala Ali.
Whoa,
Here's a summary from Deadline.
there you go.
Disney
There you go.
confirmed today Delroy Lindo is joining the cast of the upcoming Blade reboot.
There you go. Thanks,
Co-star
Google.
opposite two-time Oscar-winning
Shut the
actor
fuck up.
Mahershala.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so not Wesley Snipes. Just kidding. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Mahershala Ali. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was in True Detective. Yes, that is the guy.
It's supposed to, I think it comes out this year. Or sorry,
Yeah.
2022. Sorry. Not this year. The
I was
new
gonna say if it's
Blade
this
movie.
year, it's coming out soon.
So it would really make sense for Morbius to come out in what, February?
Yeah.
And then after that, them it's, given that sneak peek to, or the teaser to Blade, and then Blade coming out later the year.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, but like all in all, I was actually, before we keep going with the Spider-Man thing, I was gonna also say just a funny Morbius story, which
Yeah.
which is really funny. So there's this really old game, people might
Yeah.
know it. It's called Maximum Carnage, and it was about the Maximum Carnage story arc,
Mm-hmm.
in the Spider-Man comics, where Carnage teams up with a bunch of villains, and then Spider-Man and Venom take them out. But so one of the people that they actually team up with, in the game and in the comics too, is Morbius, and Morbius is one of your, you could use like these support characters when you're Spider-Man and Venom. So you
Yeah.
you select them with the left trigger, I think, and then the right trigger, you use them. But like whether you're Spider-Man or Venom, they all
Yeah.
do like they might do slightly different things depending on who you're playing as. But
Yeah.
Morbius is by far the funniest because so if you're Venom and you use Morbius comes in and just fucking uses his claw. He flies in and then he uses his claw attack and just like any human enemies he pretty much wipes out, and then bosses he does significant damage to. But
Yeah.
if you're fucking Spider-Man, you get shafted because all he does to bosses, he does nothing.
Yeah.
And if you do it to normal human enemies, all he does is he flies by, and then the humans get distracted by him, and so they'll look at him. So basically, you get to have free shots on human enemies.
Oh my god.
But I remember as a kid though, I'm playing a Spider-Man, and I'm like, there's too many guys on the screen, so I use them, and it's like this music starts playing. It's like and he just like he flies in, and then and then like you can kind of see the guys are looking at him, the enemies. But I'm used to using it. I'm used to using the support characters, and then they teabag everybody. But no, I'm just sitting there like, am I supposed to do something? But yeah, that's literally the point. You're supposed to attack the enemies while they're distracting, and then it's extra funny if you use it on a boss, because he doesn't even distract the boss. He does nothing. So it's literally like and he literally just flies by, and then Carnage or Doppelganger or whoever you're fighting, anybody, they'll just be kicking the shit out of you.
Holy fuck.
It's like, oh, hey Morbius, thanks a lot. It's like, couldn't you just do the Venom thing where you come in and fuck everybody up?
Yeah.
No, just you're essentially like a signal flare.
Yeah.
Shot in the air, you distract the humans.
Yeah.
It's fucking worst support character ever for Spider-Man. But yeah. Anyways, back to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously it goes without saying that all the old Spider-Mans are in it.
Yep.
They all return. Everybody, the hype was real. Everybody was expecting it.
Yep.
But I think they did it very well. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get, too crazy into the details, because I do think everybody should watch it, but
Yep.
But it was really cool how they all interacted and how they all like came in. And I think you probably remember the one funny part where they're all talking about recharging their web shooters, and then Tobey Maguire just shoots, and he's like, what, you don't have these? And then the guys are like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, does it come from any other parts of your body? He's like, no, just my wrists.
Yeah. The actually an interesting thing with them, there's been talk that there's a chance that they might look into making sequels to the old movies.
I heard that too. I thought that I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd be all for that
Hmm.
because
Uh,
I think it's not that anybody ever liked, or I mean, sorry, it's not that anybody really disliked any of those characters. It's just like with Spider-Man 3, uh, they just kind of fucked up Venom. That's it. They didn't really do it well. Other than that, it's a great movie.
yeah.
And then
The
Amazing Spider-Man 2, I don't know what happened. I honestly, I mean, yeah, a lot of people didn't like how Electro looked, but I don't. I heard there was some drama with Andrew Garfield or something, or I don't know.
yeah. Apparently the fame got to his head because that was the one comment he just recently said that he's not letting the fame get to him this time. I guess
That's
apparently I guess he got arrogant or something like that.
yeah, that's what I heard something like that too. And that you always hear these stories, right, about you know, these people that, they get rich quick, or they get ultra famous, right? Especially when they're young, and then they kind of, they turn into little assholes. But it's just, I think you got to be a certain level of humble.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think somebody like me, for example, like, I don't feel like I'd be a rich asshole because I know what it's like to struggle.
Hmm.
So like, I feel like, you know, like people like Macaulay Culkin, right? Like Macaulay Culkin went, he's just a little boy and he's ultra famous, probably the most famous little boy in the world. And then in the best Christmas movie of all time, and then
Yep.
his dad ended up stealing a bunch of his money, and oh, excuse me, and then he turned to drugs and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't think he was very arrogant or anything, but
No.
he went down the drug path, right? But
Yeah.
I
The
don't I don't think I don't think it's healthy for young people to get famous.
no. The interesting thing, kind of bringing up this whole, the chances of sequels for these older movies. It's kind of cool because maybe they, again, the sad remark is they originally were looking at making a Spider-Man 4 for Toby back in the day,
Yeah,
and then there was talk about 3, and then eventually that got scrapped. But now that you made this movie and now they're older and stuff, it's definitely that it's maybe feel like that you might have mentioned this, but it's that idea that you could literally make Spider-Man 4 and the Amazing Spider-Man 3, you can make them feel like the Logan movie. They're older
yeah,
now, right? They're in a different time in their life, and they've been the Amazing Spider-Man for so long now. Like, what is it like being Spider-Man now when you're not a kid anymore?
yeah. It's like, yeah, the first, yeah. That's what I was saying. I was saying, do it like Tobey Maguire in particular. You know, do a Spider-Man style movie like Logan, where it's like you're seeing a superhero at the end of the end of his life, the end of
Hmm.
his rope. You know, kind of like his last hurrah almost. Or
Yeah,
if you want to make it last a few more movies or something, make it, just make it a seasoned Spider-Man,
yeah,
older Spider-Man. But
yeah,
I think I'd be super interested um to watch, like, yeah, like an older Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, kind of picking it up where he left off.
yeah.
'Cause I know Kirsten Dunst has talked about wanting to return as Mary Jane as well.
Yeah, actually, I just saw a meme about that where it's just like, see if I can scroll up, see if can see it again. It was something about like, hey, weren't you just bashing Toby and it's a scene from like of course it's gone now, but it was just her saying, "Yeah, well, we're back together, okay?" or something. Because yeah, she was. I know she was apparently when this whole talk with Toby and Andrew possibly coming back into this movie, there was talk with her saying that she wasn't paid uh equally or something like that.
Yeah, I know, and that was
I never
so.
really looked into the topic that much, so I can't really say a whole lot on it, but
Yeah,
um but yeah.
I saw. Yeah, I saw what you shared, and the meme was pretty funny. It's like last time I checked, the movie was called Spider-Man, not Mary Jane.
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know, to be honest, and I mean, I think cosplayers would love this because I don't know if you've noticed ever, but like the number one cosplay ever, pretty much is Spider Gwen, which is the
Oh
like
yeah.
when Gwen State. It's like an alternate universe type deal where Spider-Man dies, I think, and then Gwen Stacy becomes Spider-Man. So it's like a
Yeah.
female Spider-Man, and yeah, like so many girls cosplay it. Well, I think it's because it's easy, right? It's
Mhm.
just literally it's a skin tight suit.
Yeah.
That's all. It's a skin tight Spider-Man like suit. It's fucking easy.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I think the fans would actually really enjoy that, and I think that'd be good too. It'd be kind of neat if they did an alternate universe
Mhm.
like Spider Gwen or something like that. Or
Yeah.
there may or may not have been one where Mary Jane became Spider Man. I don't remember, but I think that was a thing at one time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
all in all, though, I really liked. Yeah, really liked the new Spider Man. I liked all the villains. Uh,
Agreed.
I love that all the villains came back, like all the original actors.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, shit, what the hell's his name? Thomas Hayden Church. That's his name, right?
That's
Sandman. Is that his name?
Spider.
That's his name. I'm pretty sure. Thomas. Yeah, yeah, it is Thomas. Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church.
Fuck, when I type in Spider-Man 3, it's it's the recent Spider-Man. It's like, fuck no, I'm
Okay.
looking up the original Spider-Man 3.
I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just had
Yeah.
bad luck.
Yeah. Not a bad guy. Just bad luck. Yeah, well, you blew up in the fucking room.
You got blown up.
Yeah.
And also, I will say that yeah, Marissa Tomei is she's a spicy mamacita. That's one habanero grandma,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. That's why leading up to this movie, I loved all his memes, and I think somebody actually just sent it to our group chat. It might have been Jesse, but
Yeah.
it's like when she's Aunt May, but she's not your Aunt May, and it's like Marissa Tomei, and it's like Bully McGuire dancing behind her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking love that.
Spider-Man entered the Uncle universe.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
yeah.
what's the matter? Too busy taking pictures of your friend Spider Man? He killed my father.
The
You knew this was coming, Harry.
yeah.
I was kind of
The
hoping Harry would come back.
I know, man. I just like had just about every single one.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's a difficult one because Harry wasn't really a bad guy. He was like, you know, a bad guy for like one scene, and then he
Mhm.
lost his memory, and then at the end, he kind of, you know, they kind of have a little spit at the manor, but then he blows up his face, and then, you know, and then he helps him at the end, and then, you know, he dies.
Yeah.
But so, but everybody, you know, everybody that came back in this one all died fighting Spider-Man, right? So I was kind of
Yeah.
thinking maybe Harry will come, but I think at the end of the day, personally, this is just my thought. I think one of the main reasons they didn't bring Harry was because I think I think James Franco's in a lot of hot water right now.
Yeah,
It,
he just admitted to something.
did he?
Yeah, he did.
What did he do?
Something about some sexual thing towards some college student or some student or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was something like that, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know. It's just I think a lot of that stuff gets overblown, and I think it's just a classic scene of an actor sleeping with a fan. I think that's ultimately what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a power dynamic. They probably have power over that person or influence, if you will. And yeah, I get it. I get the outrage, but like I don't know. A lot of the times I don't agree with the outrage because I just feel like I mean, there's things like Bill Cosby. Like okay, he legitimately raped women. He drugged and raped women. Like that's fucked up. But like if it's just like a chick slept with a celebrity, like the whole remember when Trump was in office, there's that Stormy Daniels, she was trying to sue Trump and all this stuff. And it's like you slept with him because he was a celebrity. Like get over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
Yeah.
I just love when people like backpedal and stuff like that.
I know,
Just
man.
just because they can make a quick buck on it or get famous again. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same with like how everybody was talking about like they're like Donald Trump, my close personal friend, and then like a couple of years later when he runs for president, I hate that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so funny.
I was gonna ask you. It's not with Spider-Man now, but Witcher. You've watched the season 2?
Yes,
Did
I've
you
watched
watch?
season.
Have you watched all of it or just some of it?
Yes, I watched it all.
Okay, I have
Me,
yet to. I haven't watched it yet.
did you watch season 1?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, me and Kyle, we binged it.
Yeah.
We binged it all because I love that series so much. But
Nice.
but yeah, but like you were saying, you don't really care about the spoilers,
Yeah. I.
anything like that. And I'm not going to go too deep here. But I just wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to make some comments on it, because I thought it was really good. I thought season 2 was. It's funny because Netflix, stereotypically, cannot make like good shows. It's weird. They they have like the biggest budget, but I feel like they fall short on like almost. If you ever, it's actually okay. I take that back. Not TV series, movies. If a movie has the Netflix stamp on it, there's like a 78% chance it's gonna be a shitter. But
Hmm. Well,
that's
there's
just
that
my
one movie that wasn't too bad. It was something about fuck. It was good. Oh, what's her? I'm forgetting her name.
you're talking about the package,
The Sandra Bullock. Is that it?
the
Packet.
blind the blind side. Just kidding.
Sandra Bullock. There's a movie with her in it that I thought was a Netflix movie that did really good.
uh, I'm I, I'm I don't know. I'm trying to think of what you're thinking of. You'll have to look that up real
I'm
quick.
looking it up right now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just see, and then and again, I'm not saying these ones don't do
Bird Box.
right. Yes, okay, Bird Box. I thought that was, and again, like I said, this is my opinion, and
Yeah,
a lot of these things, get they get critical fame, like they're loved by the critics and people, but I just
yeah.
find them, I don't find them good. Uh,
Okay.
Bird Box. So in the case of Bird Box, I thought it was actually pretty. I thought it was pretty good. It was a neat idea, but and I understand that the mystique of it all, um, is that you never see the monster. Like you never see what it is.
Yeah,
Like because it's supposed to be whatever you fear the most, right?
yeah.
So it's subjective, and I get that, but like I don't know. It's just this old school monster movie mentality I have that I want to see the monster. I want to see something.
Hmm.
Like even The Mist, The Mist was a great movie, and it was mysterious, and you didn't always know what was in the mist. But then
Yeah.
slowly you started to see creatures throughout the movie, and it's like it's good to do that, like suspense.
Hmm.
Even movies like The Thing, you don't see the thing right away out in the open.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
catch glimpses of it, and then
Hmm.
you catch the dog, and then the guy's stomach, and it's like you get drip fed these creatures,
Yeah,
and then
and I
at
think.
the
Oh, keep going, sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, and then yeah, at the end you have like the big reveal with like the big entity. It's like that's good. I like that, but
Yeah, and I think
for
that's what made the thing like an incredible movie. Is
yeah,
that it always puts you on the edge of your seat, that movie, and it always makes you keep on guessing, like what could be next, what could be next.
yeah. Well, there's still fan theories about that movie. Like there's still fan theories as to whether the last guy was infected or not.
Yeah, and actually, an interesting. There was a recent interview with the guy who plays Childs. I keep forgetting his name. I'm bad with a lot of actor names, but
Yeah,
you know him to whom. You know
yeah,
who I'm talking about,
yeah.
though.
It's a black guy at the end, right?
It's like, yeah. So he had an interview, and he said right away, he was like, "I'm not the thing."
Oh, okay, he did.
Yeah, yeah. So I think so because there was theory that J.R. McReady was the thing, but I couldn't really see it. And then a lot of people were saying Childs was, um, and then yeah, I think what ends up happening, in my honest opinion, is I think they're both human, but they're so paranoid about each other that they just freeze to death.
Yes, and actually,
Um,
I actually for dude, this is actually insane because I totally forgot, but that's because he's so young. The guy that plays it was actually Keith David.
yeah, yeah, he plays the Orbiter
Yeah,
or Orbiter, right?
Arbiter in
In
Halo. Yeah,
Arbiter, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
he's and he
He's that
plays.
famous. He's that famous voice guy. He has that fucking unique voice.
Kill me or release me, demon. But
Yeah, yeah,
do not waste my time with talk.
yeah,
He also played Spawn in the animated series.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
He's a great voice actor. I
hmm
totally forgot that was him. And he was all
yeah.
he
Well,
was he was
that's
also
one
in
of the
Roadhouse.
rare movies that he's bald in. Because now you see him nowadays, he has a whole full set of hair.
Right. Right. Yeah, because he was in a lot of. He was also in uh fucking Studio Ghibli, Princess Mononoke. Yeah, he played Okado, I think, and he did
Okay.
some Yeah, I think he did narration. Might have been narration as Okado. I don't
I was
remember,
gonna
but
say he does a lot of narrating in general.
oh yeah, he does. Yeah, but he did. I know he played a character in Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
Yeah, he's yeah, very uh very recognizable voice actor.
Mhm.
But yeah, he confirmed that he wasn't the thing.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Fuck him. I still
And
believe.
it's crazy because like a lot of people, yeah, like some people go into super depth about the thing. Like they talk about how like, oh, if you watch how they directly, like this one guy was saying something about like you can tell the difference between the people that are affected and not infected because of how they shot the scenes. Supposedly they say when there's a character talking and you looked at their eyes, they would have like their eyes would be kind of shiny.
Oh,
I guess based on the light, and that indicate like supposedly that's what again this kind of fucking conspiracy thing that comes to this movie.
holy
They
Christ!
say well the people yeah the guy the when they're not infected they have shiny eyes from the light and how the camera angle is, but when the people are not when they're the thing, if you look at their eyes they don't have any shine to their
Oh,
eyes or some shit. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird, but
they didn't cry before that scene.
yeah,
What
yeah.
what does McCready say when he pours the alcohol on the computer? Is it
Oh,
"fuck you, bitch" or something?
yes, yeah, cheating bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
such
did you,
a
an interesting thing that fucking computer, that chess computer game arcade thing that they have for him when he's playing.
Yeah.
That's a 1-to-1 thing. That was made for the movie.
Yes, I actually, yeah, I read that in trivia actually. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That
Yeah.
it was actually, yeah, it was meant to be, like they made it specifically for the movie,
By the way,
and then they wrecked it.
yeah, he wrecked it. The funny thing too is the what is it? JB Scotch he drinks throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
I I think it was actually before Halloween. I picked some of that up.
yeah.
I was all super pumped because you always see it, and I tried it, and it's it is fucking tough stuff.
Gnarly.
Definitely, I understand why they drank it in the Antarctic because it fucking sure warms you up pretty good.
Oh yeah, reminds me of the good old days playing hockey, drinking Hot 100.
Yeah, yeah. But this stuff burns. I think a little bit more than that. It's if people are curious, it's a Scotch that has a whiskey blend or mix or something like that in it. But yeah, and I know a lot of people out there are not really big Scotch drinkers. I'm not a really big Scotch drinker
Oh,
myself, but
hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on.
okay.
Hello. Okay, hold on, Mr. Aykroyd. I'll put you on speakerphone. What's this I hear? You guys are on your podcast promoting different alcohols? Are these alcohols not double, not triple, but are they quadruple filtered through Herkimer Diamonds?
Holy fuck!
You are about to lose your sponsorship if you continue down this path. Look. Okay, okay. Calm down. I'm sorry, Mr. Ackroyd. We won't talk about anything else again. Okay, no other alcohols. We're only going to talk about Crystal Skull vodka. Okay. Okay. You guys had better, because otherwise, I'm going to pull your funding, and I'm going to give it to a different podcast.
Oh God, no!
And this one has millions of views. God, sir. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Ackroyd. I'm going to hang up now. Okay. Okay. Go back to work on Ghostbusters 5 or 4 or whatever you consider it in the timeline. Actually, I'm busy shooting The X Factor with
Holy
Simon
fuck!
Cowell. Hey, maybe he'll come back to Sci Factor.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, see you later, Mr. Ackroyd.
Fuck.
Jeez, what a weird guy, eh?
What a
How did
weird
he
guy.
How did he even know that we were like we're not even? This isn't even posted yet. We were just recording right now. Fuck, just phones me like that. What a loser!
What a loser. So yeah, Witcher season 2. You binge
Yes,
watched that with your bro?
yes. So to go back to what we talked about, what we were talking about 100 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the Witcher season 2. So, I thought it was really good. It was, yeah, it's one of those Netflix shows that like I remember at first because I'm such a big fan of like the games and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, God, I hope they don't fuck this up. And I remember they got Henry Cavill to do Geralt, and I'm like, I was one of the naysayers. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think he'll be good as Geralt.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and then I remember there's some other ones that people thought about, like Mads Mikkelsen, and I think he would have been good, but whatever. Like I'm like, well, give it a shot. And then yeah, like I just loved it. I was like, God damn it, he plays the character so well.
Yeah.
And like yeah, season 2 is like it's like much of the same, but it's like the only problem I had with this season 2 is it's almost like season 2 is like almost a build up of it's basically showing Siri and her training at
Okay.
Kaer like she's gonna get trained at Kaer with the Witchers, and but they basically the whole season is basically setting up a bunch of people that are gonna come after Siri for her magical for her elder blood,
Okay.
right? So it's like they're basically and the whole season they kind of hint at Emir, which is and okay, so at the end of the season, the big kind of reveal is like, Emperor Amir. He's the leader of Nilfgaard, the
Yeah.
black armor guys.
Mhm.
Which one thing I will say about season 2, they fixed the armor. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the biggest problems people had with season 1 was the Nilfgaardian armor looked like ballsack armor. Just look it up. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look up. Just look it up on Google. You'll be able to find it. Look up Nilfgaard armor season 1 compared to the video games, and it's just because it's supposed to be black and gold armor with with the sun, the yellow sun, the gold sun on there, because
Oh yeah.
that's the symbol of Nilfgaard is the gold sun. But yeah, in the season 1 they had like this weird black ball sack looking armor. That's what people called it, was the ball sack armor. But luckily in season 2 they've changed that, and that's the biggest thing. I'll get back to the Amir thing in a second, but that's the biggest thing I could say about this season is that much like the Sonic movie, how they changed Sonic's design, I feel
Yep.
like in The Witcher season 2, they took all of the criticisms from the fans and kind of fixed them. It's kind of cool. I like it. They fixed the Nilfgaardian armor. Triss Marigold, I find she looks more like she does kind of in the game slightly in a
Mhm.
way. She doesn't have like this big weird owl hair. She kind of has like more styled hair in a way.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
and I know that the Witcher show is supposed to be off the books, not the games. But
Yep.
like still, you gotta, let's face it, 85% of the fans that are watching the show are watching it because of the games.
Mhm.
I'd say probably 80 to 85.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, they fixed kind of some of the character designs, and they added some new characters to it. Like one character they added, that which everybody will know from The Witcher 3 if they've played it, is Dijkstra, and he's a Redanian spy, and
Okay.
the guy that they got to play Dijkstra looks awesome.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like very similar to the games, a bald little creepy bastard. The only major difference is he has a beard, but that might be a book thing. I don't know. I don't know the books that well. So, but yeah. And I just find that, yeah, they kind of made little corrections here and there. And anyways, the big kind of reveal at the end is that, yeah, Emperor Amir comes to I think they're actually in Sintra, or maybe they're in Vizima. I don't remember actually, but he comes. They would be in Vizima, I don't think, because that's the Nilfgaard capital. I think he was coming to where they had already conquered, but
Okay.
and it doesn't matter. He comes to the throne room, and the big fucking thing at the end of the series is him turning around, and it shows his face, and
Yeah.
he's like, no, where's my daughter? Like, we need to find my daughter, and and that's the big reveal, right? That the Emperor of Nilfgaard, his daughter is Ciri. But like,
Mhm.
it's not a surprise for me. For anybody that's played the games or
Yeah.
read the books or anything like that, that's not a surprise to anybody.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that. You know, her father was in season 1. Do you remember the hedgehog guy?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
His name is Dooney.
Mhm.
Well, that's her father, but his real name is Amir von Emrys, and he's actually like, that's the thing about, they had the child of surprise there, which was Ciri,
Yeah.
and that's technically his daughter because Pavetta was his wife, but it was technically a child of destiny. But so it's,
Mhm.
I don't know, in a weird way it's not his child, but anybody who's played the games knew that Dooney, that guy, everybody knew that his real identity was the Emperor of Nilfgaard, and he was just there to suss out information and stuff. So I feel like if you just watched the series and you didn't play the games or read the books, you would have been like, "Oh shit, son!" But for me, it was like, "Yeah, I know." I know who you are because that's literally the major plot point of the games is that the Emperor of Nilfgaard hires Geralt and Yennefer to go find Ciri, find his daughter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point.
The I was gonna say, the one thing that kind of helps. I don't know much about the other cast, but Henry Henry Cavill there. I think the one thing that helps with him being a main character is the fact that he knows the source material.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
And
and
and he's played the game too.
yeah,
Like,
so
yeah,
he understands his role and he kind of knows the. It's one thing reading a book, but like, and then also when you have a actual like like a visual representation of that character in this case like a video game where
yeah,
he can kind of see, oh, okay, this is how this character is portrayed and people like it this way. Well, he can kind of go off of that.
yeah. And that's the thing. He's not just an actor. He's a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan of the source material because
And
so he doesn't want to get fucked up just as much as we do.
exactly.
Or
And I think that's a good thing to have because especially with it being a lead role,
yeah.
hopefully the power of that um it can be put in a positive outlook. He's also mentioned, I guess, like he's a pretty big video game. He loves playing video games, and I guess he's also a pretty big fan of like. There's like two other games that he was kind of interested in the idea of making movies.
What was that?
And I'm probably gonna because I never played these ones. Warhammer, Warhammer 4000 or something like that.
Yeah,
Warhammer.
Warhammer 40K. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was. He would like to see a movie out of that.
that would be neat.
Yeah.
I never got into Warhammer. I I've played with the miniatures a little bit when people have had them because it's a whole. That's where it came from. Hey, it came from a tabletop RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And I
then
think that's what he's into is the tabletop.
yeah. Well, I that's usually where people started because I'm pretty sure Warhammer was orcs versus humans
Yeah.
originally.
He would like to see that. He would also like to star in a Red Dead Redemption 2 style movie.
That'd be cool.
Um, I thought there was another movie that he was talking about.
GTA
Uh,
6.
yeah, no kidding. Shit. What other video game? Let's see here. I'm just taking a look to see if I can find it because it's like he had like three movies I thought or three games that he was kind of interested in the idea of making into a movie.
Oh yeah.
A Mass Effect,
Oh yeah. I think I
Mass
actually
Effect,
do.
Red Dead Redemption, and Warframe, or
Warframe?
War. No, not Warframe. Sorry. Uh, our buddy plays Warframe a lot, so
I actually really want to make a movie about Clash of Clans. I think it would sell well.
yeah.
But the that'd be too funny. But no, that'd be sweet. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I'm trying to think of if I have any criticisms for season 2 besides the I guess the big one for me was I didn't like the actor who played Lambert. I really didn't. And I don't know. He looks at the red-haired guy from Game of Thrones?
I think so.
Like the wildling? That wildling guy?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
crazy? Yeah. That's kind of what he looks like. That's what Lambert looks like. And he looks like that wildling guy. Like he's a ginger guy and he's got this really long hair and he's still
Yeah,
kind of
I just looked up a picture of him. Yeah.
Yeah, from season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did you look up a picture of him from Witcher 3?
Yeah. Actually, funny thing is, I just put Lambert Witcher, and yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you're talking about, though. Yeah, they do not look. It's
No,
the Leon Kennedy thing going on.
but it's worse though. It's like I said, it's not even close. It's not like it's he's got red hair instead of black hair, and just yeah, I didn't feel like his attitude was there either. And there's also
Yeah.
another weird thing to me. And again, I don't know if this is a book thing. It might be a book thing, not a
Okay.
game thing. But they kill off Eskel in this season.
Okay.
They they
I wouldn't be familiar with that.
they introduce Eskel, and Eskel, like he looks close enough to like the game type character. At least he has the scars, because Eskel, like that's one of his famous features in the games, anyways, that he has scars kind of all over his face,
Yeah.
and he's kind of an ugly guy because of that. But he's like, and the character they had in the game kind of had, he had scars, and he looked a little bit weird, but it was passable. It's like the Leon thing. It was a passable character. Looked good
Yeah.
enough. But
You know what? I understand where you're coming from now, thinking about it a little bit more. You have, like, for example, the first Resident Evil movie. It's the first one, right? They could change the look of that character if they decide to put Leon into the second movie, right?
yeah,
Um, where, like, this is the second season of Witcher, and like you said, they've made already character changement to make it more
yeah,
like the games or whatever, to make it more better. And then, but yeah, like you said, like this Lambert character, they kind of really botched up his character, and it's just like, well, now you have to wait for season 3 for them to fix that character or something.
yeah. But I don't. Like, the thing is, I don't even know how you would fix that, because you would have, like, in my opinion, you'd have to recast. Like, but like, again, it's not the end of the world, but it's just like, to me, Lambert was he's one of my favorite characters, because he's just fucking hilarious, and he's such an asshole. But
Yeah.
he also has a good character arc for, like, the reason he is an asshole, because he's not like, he's an asshole because he didn't want to be a Witcher.
Yeah.
He never wanted to be a Witcher. He got sold it because Witchers would buy children, and
Yeah.
then the whole reason they bought children is to convert them into Witchers,
Okay.
because only 3 out of 25 children survive the trials ever.
Yeah.
And then Geralt's, we'll say, class of children, the 3 that survived was him, Eskel, and Lambert.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lambert, like, he always talks about how, yeah, he wanted to die. He doesn't want to be a Witcher. He never wanted it, but he's just kind of playing the hand he's dealt. So I just think it's an interesting dichotomy between, him and the wolf, because, I feel like Geralt almost enjoys being a Witcher.
Hmm.
He enjoys it, and, like, even people watching, everybody wants to be a Witcher. They're badass motherfuckers. But
Yeah.
then Lambert kind of brings you down to the human side, and just shows you, like it's not like you snap your finger and you're a Witcher. You get fucking tortured forever. You go through
Yeah.
brutal training as a kid. You like, for like Vesemir,
Yeah.
because Vesemir is their teacher, right? And by the way, he was cast really well in season 2. But
Okay.
but anyways, that's a side note. But like, when they were kids, yeah, they got thrown into a swamp on their trial, and, like, yeah, literally, like, kids were getting blown up by Race, like, torn to fucking pieces, and like,
Jesus.
and then, like, they're getting drowned by drowners and eaten by drowners, and they're just kids. They just get little 10-year-old kids thrown in a swamp full of monsters, and then the whole idea is to survive.
Oh wow.
It's fucking brutal. So yeah, I really like Lambert's. I like the way Lambert is, because it's realistic.
Hmm.
It's realistic, and it's not. He doesn't glorify being a Witcher. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He shows that it's not just something that you just become. It's literally, you're fucking tortured.
Yeah.
And then even if you do good, even if you survive all those trials, you still have to do the mutations. And then there's a 3 out of 25 kids. That's it. So
Wow.
not a high survival rate of the mutations. So
Jesus.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But either way, I didn't like his casting. Thought it was fucking horrible, but what can you do? It's still a good show. It didn't
Yep.
ruin the show for me. So
Yeah. That's good.
and yeah, the first episode's a fucking banger. It
Right
open
on.
it opens up hard, and you
Yeah.
get to see you do, and yeah, you get to see one of my favorite monsters actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Bruxa.
The Bruxa. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll have to watch it. It's awesome.
Oh no, I definitely will. I probably will during this time off.
No, right now. After you enjoy your nice sip of Crystal Skull vodka.
uh, good
My
stuff.
phone.
Good stuff.
Hold on, my phone's vibrating. Is that you, Miss Jack? People in the hotel. People in the hotel here are like, "Shut the fuck up!"
The
Like Mr. Aykroyd's angry on floor 9.
yeah.
But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
I guess so yeah, that's The Witcher. You'd say other than a few little things, Witcher 2 has been a fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. I feel like they and it was I watched it pretty quick, and I only watched it once so far. But I do feel like they could have added more monsters. There was a lot of monsters, but I feel like I don't know. I those are some of my those are some of my favorite episodes. When it's just an episode of Geralt just hunting a monster.
Yeah.
Doing the Witcher shit.
Doing what he's
Yeah,
designed,
I
mutated to be or
I don't.
whatever.
The problem with these, and this is one thing that drove me fucking insane about Game of Thrones. Besides the ending, because the ending sucked, but
Yeah.
the one thing that drove me crazy about Game of Thrones was all the political banter. There's so many episodes where it was just fucking people in throne rooms talking,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just too much.
Yeah.
And luckily, The Witcher doesn't do that too much, but like. That's the thing. It's just like we just want to see the cool shit,
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, when he's doing his normal Witcher shit, that's what I like. I like that stuff where he's hunting it. That's why episode 1's so good.
The what was I gonna go with it? Yeah, I almost need to go back on Witcher 1
Yeah,
because it's been so long since I watched Witcher 1 to just season 1 Witcher 1 or Witcher, so I can
yeah,
get caught up with season 2. Because I binge watched that too.
yeah. That I find that's the problem with binge watching is that you don't retain a lot of it necessarily.
Yeah,
'Cause-
and myself to begin with, my memory, I have really horrible memory when it comes to
yeah,
certain things, and
but
I don't know why, but yeah.
but yeah, I'll like I said, I'll kind of wrap it up with this.
Mhm.
Watch Witcher season 2, and also, if you do have time, I would recommend checking out Nightmare of the Wolf if you haven't watched it.
Okay,
Have you watched it or seen it?
I don't think so.
That's the Witcher animated movie on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's an animated. It's an animated Witcher movie. It's about young Vesemir.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, they released it earlier this year.
Yeah.
I don't know why a lot of people missed it, but I would recommend watching it. It's a lot of people complained about some of the fight scenes in it, but it's because it's done in like an anime style almost. So
Okay.
the fight scenes are kind of fantastical and crazy, with a lot of jumping around and like riding on monsters and then falling and then killing them. But it's a solid movie, and I'd recommend checking it out. It gives you a good backstory on Vesemir.
Yeah. Um.
Back when he was a handsome devil.
I was gonna say, interesting thing. A last small not really, I guess topic that I just saw today is
Right.
they released a trailer, well, a teaser for John Wick 4,
Right.
and I guess it was supposed to be coming out next year, 2022, but I guess it got pushed.
Yeah, I heard
Got,
about that.
got pushed to 2023.
That's
March something of 2023.
so COVID will be in full swing still.
Yeah.
Probably.
Fuck.
Fuck. That's
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that movie. That should be
Mhm.
good. John Wick's a fucking awesome movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we'll wrap it up here, and maybe Justin will fucking show up for work next time. You know, I'm gonna get on the phone here with our benefactor,
You
Dan
better.
Aykroyd.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, Mr. Aykroyd, Justin didn't show up for work today. He's a piece of shit. And then he's gonna be like, you tell that boy, he's got one last chance with me. One last chance.
Oh
Because
shit.
because this podcast has only lasted this long because of, say it with me now, not double,
Oh, no.
not triple,
Triple,
but quadruple distilled.
quadruple.
I can't even do it.
I can't.
Quadruple distilled through Herkimer Diamonds.
Fuck.
Sorry, guys. That's part of my clause with Dan. I gotta mention the vodka at least 4 or 5 times per podcast. I need you people to understand. But yeah, that's it for this week. We got a good 2 hours under our belt.
Yeah,
Which
just before Christmas.
sorry, not under my belt because my belt's fucking gone. Part of it's sitting in a law office downtown.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. It'll be right after Christmas.
Yeah, it'll be right after Christmas. It'll be the last one of the year.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys all about the trade set I got. Sorry, that's
Holy fuck. That's creepy.
that's my little kid laugh. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
All right. We'll see you guys after Christmas.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Yeah. Take care.